You know, back in my day, when you were trying to access something online that required you to be a certain age, you didn't have to verify it by any means. You just had to click a box that says that you're whatever age you have to be and you're good to go. Or you had to enter your date of birth, like who else here ever, said that you were a 105-year-old man? I was born in 1920. What of it? Yeah, well, you see, that is all in the past, or at least just for the United Kingdom right now, but I would definitely speculate that this is going to happen outside of the UK very soon. There's been a lot of talk recently about how the internet is very accessible to kids that definitely should not be able to access certain parts of the internet. And I actually do agree with that, even though I'm definitely not like for censorship all that much. I do agree with this to an extent, but the way it is shaking up things is definitely quite interesting. You are actually supposed to send in a picture of your face to verify your age, or at least that's just one way that you can do it. I think there's multiple ways for these websites, but it actually uses AI to determine if you are of age. It's very bizarre. So you might have seen this really came into the news just about 2 or 3 days ago, but what's interesting is that this is actually all from an act from 2023, 2 years ago. Yeah, this is called the Online Safety Act of 2023. Yeah, so this was passed almost 2 years ago in October of 23. Now, the reason we are just now hearing about this is that one of the very big steps of this act was enacted just a few days ago, July 24th, or actually 25th of this year. So just a few days ago, that is when it all got kicked into motion and when all of this kind of shook up things for these websites and online platforms. Yeah, basically this act had many steps to it, but the final piece to the puzzle is summer of 2025. So this is taking from the actual UK's website where they talk about this Online Safety Act. So I guess in April, just a few months ago, there was a sort of guide that was published on how providers should carry out risk assessments for assessing the risk of harm to children. Yeah, so it says services likely to be accessed by children now have 3 months with a deadline of July 24th, 2025. As I said, that was just actually a few days ago. So they had until then to complete their children's risk assessment, and it says the child safety regime will be fully in effect by summer of 2025. So yeah, like I said, this is the last of the 7 Dragon Balls that had to come together to actually make all this happen. Now this is all in full effect. The deadline was July 24th, so now as of July 25th, we are seeing websites actually enact this age verification feature. Now, obviously, this is including these adult websites. That's kind of a no-brainer, but it's also including some not-so-adult websites that maybe have some more mature parts to it. So it looks like this includes, but is not limited to, Bluesky, Epic Games, Discord, Tinder, Bumble, Field, I've never heard of that, Grindr, Hinge, Reddit, and X. Now, I don't live in the UK, so I'm not having to verify my age on all this, so I kind of looked into this a bit further. I found this article that listed a few more websites and platforms. A lot of the websites come from the list I already named off, but 2 other ones are Steam and Nexus Mods, which goes to show that this is not only affecting the big websites, but also the smaller ones and the more niche ones, such as websites that host mods on it. Yeah, I really think this is going to include a lot of websites that really just allow the users to upload content. So I think this is going to be like any kind of social media. This is going to be YouTube, Twitch, and pretty much anything related that you can think of. Now, what's kind of funny is that as part of this whole July 24th deadline, they said that these websites had to include not only age verification material or processes, but also effective ones. Like, it actually has to be effective. They made it pretty clear that it can't just be, obviously checking a box. I mean, it has to be actual age verification. Now, a lot of websites are using AI to do this. I think you can upload your ID, but as I said, some actually allow you to upload pictures of your face. Funny enough, this is already being exploited. I found one article where somebody literally used the photo mode from the video game Death Stranding to like fake their age verification, and this was for Discord. So yeah, I think a lot of work still needs to be done with this. I'm sure it will improve over time. Overall though, big picture, I do think that this is going to go well beyond the UK in the coming years or even the coming months. We might see stuff like this try to get pushed in Congress, not just in the US, but in a lot of countries in North America and Europe. I could definitely see it happening because, as I said, this conversation about who can access what parts of the internet, it continues to go on. I think measures like this are very, very likely going to get pushed well outside of the UK very soon.